Kenya. Tamu sana, tamu sana, tamu sana, yes. Yesterday, Bonny Khalwale dropped his gubernatorial bid for Kakamega, and he stated clearly that he's now going for Kakamega senatorial seat. That was yesterday. And upon Bonny Khalwale making such a declaration, residents of Kakamega had this to say. Yes, those are Ikolomani constituents, Bonny Khalwale's home constituency, residents of Kakamega County. What does that mean politically? That's what I want us to find out in this video. In case you've bumped here for the very first time, subscribe, give this video a like. From that short clip, it's very clear that those residents of Ikolomani are disapproving of Bonny Khalwale's political move to drop out of Kakamega gubernatorial race. They are annoyed. They feel let down by Bonny Khalwale. And they are telling him very clearly that even that senatorial seat, they will not support Bonny Khalwale. And those are residents of Ikolomani constituency, where we expected Bonny Khalwale to have very good support. But already, they are disapproving of Bonny Khalwale's candidature. That's just an indication that Bonny Khalwale will find it very hard actually to win that Kakamega senatorial seat, simply because his supporters already they feel let down. They feel betrayed by Bonny Khalwale's political move to drop out of Kakamega gubernatorial race. That's one thing coming out clearly. And then secondly, it's almost certain that Bonny Khalwale's supporters in Kakamega County will not support Cleophas Malala as the governor. So in one way or the other, that arrangement by Kenya Kwanza Alliance, led by William Ruto and Musalia Mudavadi, for Bonny Khalwale to go for the senator and Cleophas Malala to go as a governor, that deal is already backfiring in the eyes of William Ruto and also Musalia Mudavadi. That deal is actually not going to be fruitful. Residents of Kakamega most likely are disapproving of that deal. You know, for some times now, William Ruto has actually been attacking the side of Azimio, Raila Odinga's side, that there are always people who sit in hotel, wakipanga view, sharing positions amongst themselves. And that's exactly what William Ruto and his brigade did yesterday in the case of Bonny Khalwale and Cleophas Malala. They sat down at a corner somewhere, in some hotel maybe, and they shared Kakamega top positions between Malala and Bonny Khalwale. And that's what residents of Kakamega are actually disapproving. And they are making it very clear that Cleophas Malala is not yet mature, is not fit to be Kakamega governor, simply because he's too noisy and he comes out as a joker. So in a nutshell, that deal that was birthed, rather that was influenced by William Ruto and Musalia Mudavadi, is already being disapproved by the good people of Kakamega residents. I won't be wrong now to state here clearly that that deal has backfired in Kakamega County. Yes, Cleophas Malala might actually not be voted in by those supporting Bonny Khalwale or those who are supporting Bonny Khalwale. That comes out very, very clearly. Another thing coming out very clearly, Bonny Khalwale's survival in Kakamega will largely depend on how Bonny Khalwale carries himself. From those residents, they are making it very clear that they want somebody who's sober, somebody who's not abusive, or somebody who's not too loud. If you listen to Bonny Khalwale and Cleophas Malala, they seem to be a people who are a chip of the same pot. They are full of insults, arrogance, and abuses. And that's exactly what the good people of Kakamega are actually disapproving. So Bonny Khalwale's survival in Kakamega politics will largely depend on how he behaves, how he relates with Raila Amolo Odinga, and how actually he relates with William Ruto. A good majority of Kakamega residents, they align themselves to the Azimio political divide and not Kenya Kwanza alliance. Bonny Khalwale is actually in Kenya Kwanza supporting William Ruto's candidature. So it's almost certain that Bonny Khalwale is going against the grain in Kakamega County. The more he attacks Raila Odinga, the more, in my considered opinion, Bonny Khalwale is moving very far from winning that seat. The more he actually embraces Raila Odinga, the more he might actually win that seat. So from where I sit, I strongly believe that in the remaining about 4 months, Bonny Khalwale has to be very tactful in actually being seen to be more friendly or rather warming up to Raila Amolo Odinga than actually William Ruto, because that will endear him to the good majority of residents of Kakamega who are supporting Raila Amolo Odinga. And then as I talk right now, there is no strong candidate who is being fronted by Azimio team who is going for that Kakamega senatorial seat. All candidates in Azimio seems to be eyeing the gubernatorial seat, the likes of Fernandez Baraza and also Professor Philip Kutima, Ayub Savula included. So Bonny Khalwale, if he was a smart politician, he should actually use that loophole to his advantage. Let him, if possible, let him even join the Azimio team. Let him champion that kind of a cause. And most likely, he might just find himself winning that seat as a senator. But if he continues playing this kind of irrelevance politics, in due course, I'm seeing a situation where a very strong aspirant, maybe Ayub Savula, or even Professor Philip Kutima, one of these candidates or other aspirants might actually be convinced to go for that senatorial seat. And when that happens, Bonny Khalwale will actually find it very hard in actually winning that seat. Because first of all, largely is not all that popular on the ground because it's being considered as a sellout. Somebody who has no morals, because actually Khalwale working with William Ruto from some quarters was being seen as if William Ruto had actually bought Bonny Khalwale. So already on the ground, Bonny Khalwale is being seen as a sellout. And then secondly, Bonny Khalwale is actually going against the grain in Kakamega County. Kakamega is largely Azimio. So if the Azimio team can actually identify a strong candidate, a candidate in the make of Ayub Savula or even Professor Philip Kutima, Bonny Khalwale will just be heading to Ikolomani very early in the morning. So Bonny Khalwale should actually pray very hard for Azimio team not to produce a strong candidate for that senatorial seat. Otherwise, from the look of things, Bonny Khalwale's survival will largely depend on the kind of and type of a candidate Azimio will front for that seat. And then finally, from those reactions of those residents of Ikolomani, it shows clearly that Bonny Khalwale has not reached a stature of a leader who can actually influence his supporters to go towards a specific direction. Yes. You know, Bonny Khalwale can decide to go left, his supporters won't go with him. His supporters can decide to go right. And that was seen in 2017 elections in Ikolomani constituency. In Ikolomani constituency, in 2017, Bonny Khalwale contested as a governor through Ford Kenya Party. And in his own home constituency of Ikolomani, Bonny Khalwale was seriously, vigorously, and aggressively campaigning for a Ford Kenya member of parliament. That member of parliament through Ford Kenya never made it. A Jubilee candidate in the name of Shinali won in Ikolomani. That shows that Bonny Khalwale has not yet reached that stage where he can actually direct his supporters. And then also we saw that in Bungoma, Sirisia constituency. You know, before Sirisia was split into two, Kabuchai and Sirisia constituency, Moses Masika Wetangula was largely representing that whole constituency, Kabuchai and Sirisia constituency. And in the last election of 2017, Wetangula actually fielded a Ford Kenya candidate in Sirisia constituency. Wetangula's candidate actually failed. Jubilee's candidate, Major Waluke, actually won that seat. That's also an indication that the likes of Wetangula, the likes of Bonny Khalwale, they have not yet reached a state, or rather a stage, where they can actually influence their aspirants, or rather their supporters, to go towards a specific direction. And that is exactly what is now showing, or rather manifesting itself with the case of Bonny Khalwale. Bonny Khalwale is widely being seen that now is supporting Cleophas Malala for the gubernatorial seat. But that move is being seen that his supporters might not actually go that route with Bonny Khalwale. Otherwise, ladies and gentlemen, as I conclude, those residents, or rather that reaction from those residents of Ikolomani just shows pretty well that largely Kakamega is Azimio. And for Bonny Khalwale actually to have a realistic chance of winning that seat, he must and has to identify with Azimio. He must and has to identify with Raila Amolo Odinga. Yes. God bless you. God bless Kenya.